Now, without much ado, let me invite our discussant, who is Professor Gemano Mwabu, who is a professor of economics at the University of Nairobi, and he's also Aerc resource person for many years. So, Professor Mwabu, please, you are welcome to discuss the paper.
So the chairman has summarized the paper for us very well. So I will summarize yet again the paper and do some interpretation. Now, the paper does three things. It provides indicators of the extent of employment, underemployment, and unemployment in Africa relative to other regions in the world. It also outlines the frameworks for understanding the labor market outcomes, the outcomes there, and employment, unemployment, and the issue of the problems facing the youth. And lastly, it suggests policies for overcoming these problems. So that is what the paper does. Now, there is hidden in the paper is an analytic perspective, a concept, an economic concept for analyzing these issues. And this concept is that labor is viewed as an asset. So an asset earns income, but this income is earned only when labor is employed. So if labor is not employed, there is no income from this asset. Also, another perspective is that this labor asset is equitably distributed. Everyone in the population has it. In contrast to other assets, like land. This one, everyone has it, but the quality of it varies across individuals. For example, it may vary by age, it may vary by gender, and also the place of residence, and sometimes even by height. And because of these differences, we observe labor income differences across individuals. So this is the analytic concept that is at issue here. And then Roger now goes ahead to show that Africa faces 5 major issues about its labor asset, this asset. It poses several major problems for the continent. The first problem is that the asset is underutilized. And this is a problem of unemployment. This is an employment problem. The other problem related to the asset is that it has low productivity. So labor is there, but it is used very little to those who possess it. And this is the employment problem. So when we say we have an employment problem, we are saying that the asset is earning very little to those who possess it. And then there's an efficiency problem, which is here now the unemployment. People want to work, but work is not available. So because people want to work, we exercise their asset, but they have no activity in which to do so, output is below potential. So we have an inefficiency problem, which you could have solved, we could solve if you were to get people to work. Then you also has another problem, which is the wastage, the hidden unemployment. So here, this is the issue of discouragement. People have lost hope of getting a job, so they don't look for jobs. And because of this problem, he actually cites examples where people destroy themselves or get sick, and so although this asset is actually available to everyone, it's being wasted. And lastly, and this is the one which Roger emphasized quite a bit, this asset is of low quality, and this is the problem of skill shortage, especially among the youth and the children. Now, of course, here you can see the problem immediately, that if the children do not have the good say, quality education, then the future generation will also be of low productivity. And will produce a problem that we have today, the problem of working poor. Okay, so now, when we talk about the labor market problems, this is what we are talking about, according to the paper, and also according to my interpretation. Now, so Roger now finds some findings, okay, based on quantitative indicators of unemployment and unemployment that he has so well documented. First, this asset, the labor asset, is underemployed in low productivity activities in two main sectors, agriculture and the informal sector. That's where most of the African labor is settled. And here, I just have a small comment there. In the informal sector, we call the employment there hidden employment or hidden unemployment. But actually, it's the most obvious thing that we see in African countries. There's nothing hidden there. You see, the informal sector simply where when you get to an urban setting. So it's a problem we wish we could solve, but so far we have not solved it. Then there is the issue of child labor, which is very expensive, and because you have child labor problem, it means children are not going to school. So there's very little capital formation taking place, and currently our growth is weak because our asset which we all have is not being used fully or is being underutilized, and therefore no wonder we have a problem of poverty. We have high poverty rates. And the next question, logical, is what to do. Okay, so Roger now suggests several things that you can do. And the first thing is to understand why we have this problem. Why so much unemployment, and so on. And there are several models of understanding this. One is the Beaver curve, where it shows that only if we would have demand for labor equal to the labor supply, then we wouldn't have this problem. But how to get that equilibrium, that good state of affairs is not easy. You also review the models of Keynes and the related scholars on employment creation. But we need to do more. These frameworks are not sufficient to help us solve this problem. We need to do more, and what more do we need to do? We need to dig in deeper in our context and find out what types of jobs are available in agriculture and also in the informal sector. Right now, people are surviving there, and given this survival of jobs, how can we improve on their productivity or change people from those jobs to other jobs? How do we get people working in that sector? Understanding what is actually happening rather than relying on abstract models. Abstraction is key, but you have to figure out whether that abstraction is corresponding to what is happening. Sorry. So, Ryan has a suggestion, actually, of how to get out of this problem of low productivity agriculture and low productivity informal sector. He has a suggestion, and the suggestion is to transform agriculture and the informal sector into high productivity activities. Actually, that is not debatable. That's what we should do, but how? Okay, how do we do it? And my claim is, as of now, we don't know how to do it. Okay, that's an area for research. Okay, time-consuming research, how to do this transformation using the technology that we have, developing our technology, knew what to do with this program, and so on. The next big idea, actually, big suggestion that Roger has, is we build strong solidarity economies. Right now, what we have are economies which are kind of maybe alien to some, maybe to all of us, but all are suggesting another type of economy, not so new, but which would either supplement what we have, complement it, or even replace it altogether. Okay. Now, this solidarity economy has several very attractive elements. The first is altruism. Okay. Pursuing our own interests, but also realizing that we need to take care of other people also. In this regard, there's actually a famous reference by Kennedy Aerc to the ancient scriptures about self-interest and public interest, which says like this. I just remember it vaguely. If I'm not for myself, who is for me? Okay? If I'm just in this economy and I'm just for myself, if I'm not for myself, who will be for me? But if I'm for myself only, who am I? Am I a human being or something else? And so that is, you can see the tension there between self-interest and pursuit of public interest. And altruism tries to break that. Then there's social cohesion. We cannot make progress unless we keep together. There's also the issue of collective property rights. So land is scarce. Everybody cannot have a piece of land. There's no way. So we own land collectively. That's the idea there. And then we have institutions that will ensure that we interact among ourselves peacefully, pursuing our self-interests, but making sure that we also do not destroy or lose sight of public interest. And our employment practices that are not driven by things we call animal spirits, like wanting to make money at all costs. We want to tame that motive, so that at least we give people decent employment, which is not hazardous. Now the problem is that this solidarity economy actually may not work, but we don't have evidence that it will actually work. Okay, so before we propose it, seriously, we need to figure out, even on a small scale, whether this type of an economy will do better than what we have now, or maybe introduce some elements of what Roger is suggesting in the types of economies we now have. Now, another suggestion which he has is promote public works and skill building programs. What our chairman has called skill development, and he has summarized it very well. Actually, there's evidence that this experimental evidence that this type of intervention can get us very far in building the human capital of the children and also in creating jobs. But of course, we know that there's a cost involved. So we have to figure out how to get the resources to do it. We cannot, and some of us know that some of the public works programs are financed externally, and that cannot go on forever, even for a very long time. So we need to figure out how to improve on these interventions that build human capital and also create employment. So those are the big suggestions. He has actually others in his very nice paper. So the conclusion now, this is reading from the paper, is obvious. These are very important policy issues about equality of the African population, and how this equality is linked up to the development of the continent.